big competition in the advertising market on the mobile. Okay, that's the big success of Facebook right now. They are doing it very well, and they don't have an app store, but they have a huge. Not one app. How many apps does Facebook have? Almost everybody has those apps. They have WhatsApp. They have Messenger, which they put outside of Facebook, so they got a new app, and they have Facebook, of course. Many people have the three of them, so they are doing it very smartly. So WhatsApp doesn't have ads so far, but they're probably going to have to put them in the future. And the following one is there's Google, there's Facebook, and this next one I have it here written somewhere because I forget it. It's not Yahoo is also doing very well on this fight. Okay, by the way, the price of an ad, so when Facebook is advertising mobile apps installs, those ads are 3 times more expensive than normal ads on Facebook. So that's also an example of what's going on.
Pays that the app company pays.
Yeah. Or there are advertising agencies, or well, advertising agencies don't know so much about ads, but they are starting to know because they are realizing that the market is huge. So I'm looking for the next one. It's Facebook, it's Google, Facebook, and the third one. Which one is it? Okay, I will see it later. I have too many notes here, so it's hard to find.
But I mean, the great dream of
Twitter is the third one.
The great dream of the app developer is well, if I develop a killer app and I get it onto the Apple store or wherever, then the whole world's going to take it up and that's it. But if now you have to advertise in order to get your app taken up, then that starts to become a major barrier. No?
Yeah. So, how do you optimize on apps? How do you get on the first places on?
Tell us.
Okay, he's saying it. He's saying it. You have to advertise. So it's hard to be on the top if you don't advertise because people won't know about your app. And when you advertise, people know about your app. And what happens when they know about your app? They download it. They install it.
And it goes up the ranking.
And when they download it, your ranks go up. Because the ranks are based mainly on downloads.
Not whether you use it or not. You
Downloads are the main right now. Okay, that's probably going to change because that was a very good question. But right now, the main it's algorithmic, of course, to be on the first, second. It's like Google's SEO. So if you want to be on the first ones, you have to play with the algorithm. The algorithm is based on several factors, and one of the factors, the main one, is downloads. There are more factors. Which are the rest of the factors that are involved here?
Traction, retention. Download is not enough. People download it once and then use it twice and start using it.
Yeah, usage is
there are
how many entries you have, like monthly or daily.
Yeah, but the algorithms factors, downloads are very important right now. It's the main. Well, that's what the experts are saying. The people who are fighting against the algorithm, they say that still works out of downloads.
Yeah,
and there is also
you can't ignore downloads, but it's certainly not enough. I mean, if there are downloads and you see that there is no usage, and it's measured. I mean, the down and the mal, it's measured. So
but you are not going to make money if it's not used. Okay, so you are not going to make money.
Download is like pay per click.
Yeah,
click doesn't mean
that's it. But the first.
Easiest to measure.
But the first thing you need is people to download it. If they don't download it, don't install it, they're never going to use it. Okay? So the first thing you need people to download it. So to download it, you have to be on the markets on the first positions for your category. So You know that in Europe it's like 20, 30 categories. I don't remember how many. Depends on the market. And in US it has become even harder because you have categories and you have like tax, and tax have become very important for the market. So you don't only want to be classified the first one in entertainment, for example, but you also want to be the first one in entertainment for adults who live in Israel, for example.
Yes, you
That's
have to target
yeah.
your audience,
It's becoming a lot like Google, in fact. So people are looking for harder things. Like first it was one word, then it was 2 words, and now it's like 5 words. Okay, so it's becoming a bit like that. The number of apps is huge. It's several million. I don't remember how many, but it's growing every day a lot. And so you have to play with downloads, and for playing with downloads, you have to advertise. So when you advertise, people download your app more, and then you go up in the market. So it's kind of how do you say that?
vicious cycle.
Yeah, vicious cycle or circle, or I don't know how you say it. Okay, so it means more money, and the price is going up, so it's even more expensive. So when you're launching an app right now, the price to get into the market, to get into this market, it's high because you have to pay a lot of money for ads. So it's becoming harder and harder to launch apps, successful apps, of course. More things that you can play with are reviews on the markets. You know that people can give their opinion on their review your app. There is also comments, reviews, and scores, so they can score your app. So it's a good one, 5 stars, and all that. How do you get reviews? Because reviews is also one of the things that algorithms take into account. How do you get reviews for your app?
For something in return.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, like push messages.
No, like
Yeah.
obviously not to buy the review, but
Yeah.
I just got an email yesterday from
An app owner.
the hotel. I was staying at the Holiday in Hamburg. They belong to the IHD, International Hostelling Group, and they said if you answer 2 surveys in the next 10 days, we're going to give you extra 1,000 credit points.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Also, you have to send those push messages on the right time. I mean,
Yeah. Very important, yeah, because otherwise you are going to disturb people, and they're probably going to review badly your app.
Like not to
Yeah.
send it prior to your visit or something.
So,
But I always had a bit of a doubt about reviews. I mean, don't people purchase reviews? I mean, it's very like these reviews. I mean, especially the ones where you know you have a lot of different. I mean, there are obviously professional reviews that can happen in a magazine or something like that. But then there are the reviews that happen on the different sites. Like you might have. I mean, in travel you have TripAdvisor or something like that. Yeah, where people score and all this sort of thing. I mean, I'm sure it's very easy to go to somewhere like India and pay for, you know, $5 a review or $5 a score, and with a small budget of $10,000.
did you see anywhere the picture of this Chinese girl downloading apps?
No.
No, you haven't seen that picture. I think I have it here. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I can put it big. Yeah. Can you see it from there?
Looks busy.
I remember that one.
She has 2 rows of
Turn the screen.
Okay. What is she doing?
she's downloading apps.
To increase the
Yeah.
impact, yeah.
It's quite expensive. There is some website where you can buy this. Supposedly, I mean, I haven't bought it, but it's something like you pay per week. Okay, so you don't pay per number of downloads. You pay for the score that you are getting on the markets, and for that you need downloads. Okay, so they are doing it, and they are trying to nail the system, which has always happened.
Numbers, you know, like you could see also on Quora and sites like that. You can always recognize when they don't always identify themselves, but you can tell it's someone from the marketing who's giving the answers, mentioning maybe you want to try or see, enter this blog. I accidentally read this most interesting blog, and they direct you to their site. So it's actually the numbers, because if you see like, if you see there are, I don't know, dozens of reviews and thousands and hundreds of thousands of likes and ratings and rankings, so you can figure it out. And it's kind of hard to beat the system with the big numbers.
Well, no, but I mean, at the minute that things are automated, the minute that you have the app stores or whatever show you first the things that are highest rank, that's when these things work, yeah? Because most people, they don't go in and analyze and look and all this sort of thing. I mean, they just go into the store, and the first one that comes up that's a weather app or a whatever app, that's the one they download. Yeah,
so there is a big fight for downloads, for installations, and the next fight is going to be for usage, as he was saying, of the apps, because the algorithms are going to, probably that's going to happen, like that happened with search engines. First, it was only about being the first one because you had lots of links. And then it was also because people were actually using your websites. They were not just going there and getting back, but they were staying there for a longer time, which is very important right now for for Google.
Not
So that
Google, one of the most important indexes for phone application is the time you spend in the application. And one of the dirty tricks that Facebook did was to create a messenger app. Because before you were using just the Facebook app, but now the messenger app is open for a longer time, and they collect both the time for the messenger app and the time for the Facebook app. But I think it's called the engagement.
it's weekly, average weekly usage. I think it's the way weekly or monthly use.
Not just that, but the average
The
single
time
you
staying
spend.
there, yeah.
Like if I start the application, on average, how long will I stay in the application before I switch to another one?
Yeah, it's called session length, and it's really measured. It's one of the parameters. You go deeper into the parameters when you, you can get this parameter when you do analytics. Each app, it's
Who
one
gives
thing.
you these analytics?
What?
Who gives you these analytics?
You have as a web developer or app developer, you have a company that does the analytics for you. You know, they get all the data and they work on the data to give you these.
But
these
can I ask the
numbers.
data, where does it come from? I mean, the downloads I can understand because there's a few portals and they
Yeah.
have the statistics and that. But the usage, only the,
The app owner.
only the app owner
Yeah.
can have.
No, not really. Well, there are more ways. Okay, there's an Israeli company doing it very well, and what they do is they install apps. They get you to install apps, which don't only do what you think they do.
You just
So
want
they-
similar what?
Sorry?
Yeah, for example, yeah. So they also capture information on what's going on in your smartphone, and that information is anonymized, of course, and they use it to know what apps you're using. So they can give information on the general market, not just on the apps you have.
Yeah, actually, App Nanny does the
But
same
that's,
thing.
but I mean that's let's say that's a bit of a Trojan horse way, no?
Yeah,
Collecting
kind of,
data
yeah.
from, but otherwise, I mean, like if you just launch a new app, you can find out how many downloads it's had, but unless you're the app owner, you can't. If the app is your competition, you can't know how it's necessarily.
Yeah, because you buy this information from these companies. Yeah.
These companies, but
Yeah.
maybe that's a loophole that will close, no?
No, not really, because that's been going on forever on the web, on the desktop. They also do that on desktop. When you want to know how long sessions are on your competitors' websites, you can either buy the information from Nielsen or Comscore.
Google?
No, Google doesn't sell that information. It only provides you analytics for yourself, not for.
App
Not for
Nanny does if you buy the.
yeah, App Annie also has that. Yeah. So on desktop you have companies like Comscore, that's based on a panel. They have like 15,000 people in every country, which they expressly install a plugin on their browsers that records everything that's going on so that the information
There
is.
are people that have volunteered to
Yeah, that's
participate.
volunteer. But there are also the companies that like SimilarWeb that have, let's say, fake plugins that people think that do something and they actually get the information of what's going on in their browsers, so that they can create big statistics on what's happening in people's browsers. So they can know how long the people are staying on every website, how many times they have visited it every month, and etc., etc. And it's quite precise. And Alexa from Amazon also does that, yeah. So Alexa is not very clear how they are doing it, but SimilarWeb is a known case, yeah. And on mobile, the same thing is happening. So they have apps that are actually collecting information on what you are doing in your smartphone, and that information is taken to the cloud, and then the cloud is analyzed, and they get general parameters on what's the session length and the number of times you visit, you use an app, etc., etc. So you said that the known data is downloads. It's not so clear either, because downloads, only the Android platform gives that information. iPhone doesn't give any information on downloads. So some people estimate it. So if on Android you get like 1,000 downloads and you have like 5 reviews, they take the same thing to iPhone, because on iPhone you cannot reviews, so they calculate how many downloads can be more or less. It's an estimation. Yeah. That's the way they do it. Any does it that way, by the way. But for the rest of the information, they need some kind of Trojan horse. That's how the word you used, no? Or yeah. So that's the way it works. So there is a lot of interest on analytics for mobile right now. Yeah, because it's becoming very important, and the money that is being poured into into the markets is huge. So that you need more data for knowing if your investments are okay, and then that's creating a lot of interest in 2 years. Yeah, that's amazing. So what else can we say? So we were talking about so acquisition. How do you acquire users? So you can acquire users playing with the algorithms of the market. So you are the first place. So when people are looking for apps on entertainment, they find your app, okay? Or you advertise, so they find you because they are just using Facebook and they see your ad. Or Twitter is very how do you say, very effective. Ads from Twitter, they say that they are very effective for app installations. I don't know, I don't have the data, but that's what I've heard.
I think they said that Facebook is the best ROI for advertisement.
Could be, yeah. And for acquiring, those are the main two tools. So advertise and play with the algorithms, or
With the algorithms of the application stores.
yeah, that's it.
Okay, so
Yeah. You know the main stores are iOS,
And Android.
but there are also 2 huge ones in China, which are, I don't remember the names, but they are Android-based. But they are not Androids, they are not Google's. So they are Android-based, but like one of the manufacturers did its own market, and they control it, and it's almost as big as the Apple market in terms of installations. There are 2 or 3 like that, and there is also for like productivity apps. There is Salesforce, which is very important. Amazon also has a quite nice market, app market. And there are more. There are a lot of them. A lot of markets. There are like 100 markets. It's amazing. But the main ones are, of course, Google's and Google Play and iOS, the app market. Okay, so for acquisition, you can also For acquisition, you can also use, I would say, conventional strategies like PR. Okay, of course. PR, I've seen that working quite well. For example, for e-commerce apps, like Groupon-like apps, like for flash offers. I've seen people from the app going to the shops where the flash sales are being done, so that they can convince people over there to install the app because they are getting a discount. So that's the right place to be when you want people to install an app. So that works, of course. Or My Taxi, for example, the transportation apps use that for a lot. It's like being on the airport when people arrive, so that they know that they can get a lower price for the taxis, or being at events, for example, that I've seen quite a lot also. Or, of course, PR is always there. It's not going to stop, because
all the competitions, TechCrunch, the Next Web, MWC.
well, it's kind of PR, yeah. Or Southwest. So how do you say?
Southwest.
That's, of course, that's clear. Twitter won that war.
Because I've heard people say that the problem with these events is that they are at a very specific date. So it's not enough to compete. You have to be at least ready to launch right next to it, because otherwise you get this huge PR exposure. If you don't monetize on it right away,
Yeah,
then you lost it.
that's probably true. Yeah, this year was Meerkat was the big app at
Yes.
South.
Israel.
Yeah, it's from Israel. So that was a big launch at I think, and it went down. I don't have the data, but I
Well,
knew
that
it
actually is
happened.
interesting because Twitter bought, without telling anyone, Twitter bought a competing company,
Yeah.
Periscope. And then Twitter started to play ugly by denying Meerkat the access to the Graph API. But because it came right after the big exposure, so now everyone is following that. So Meerkat is the underdog, and they might actually do better than
There's also one in Spain, Rushmore. I think you have stock there, no? Okay. So PR is also there, of course, and events, like you said, which is kind of PR, and of course the influencers game is also always there. Also, like if you're launching something for people who are creating videos, you get the YouTubers or the Viners or that type of people to your launching, or you get to use them to use your app so that they show how good it is to the rest of the people. Okay, that's always working. But then you have the next step. After acquisition, you need people to use the app to actually register, sign up. Okay, because it's not. Some people install the apps and they don't sign up. So that's also very important to think about that. That's more usability thing. Okay, like your app has to be very fast, because people are not so patient on mobile. The interface is not so easy, and you get stressed, like you were saying, that because you are not putting on the right letter when you are writing, and people want to go fast, and they don't want to have so many steps. So you have to be as fast as possible, as simple as possible. That's very important for apps. So especially when people are signing up. So when when they're registering. And then after that comes the user war. So you get the guy with the installation, he signed in, but then you have to get him using it every once in a while, because otherwise all your effort was for nothing, because you are never going to monetize that. So that's becoming more and more important, and it will become more important as the markets take that into account more and more. So that's going to happen. So of course, social apps are winning that war, because those are the ones that people use every day. So if you introduce some type of social tool in your app, that's going to increase your chances of people using it. Also, gaming, like gamification strategies are important for people to use your apps. But don't think about Foursquare, because they were so good, but then they are not so good anymore. So something happened with that monetization.
What happened with Foursquare?
Probably people got tired of the game. I don't know. It was probably too simple, but I don't really know what happened. But it's a very interesting story, because
Gamification, I think, is Wave.
Wave.
They do it very well. with
Mhm.
the pricing things
Mhm.
and it's a map service.
Mhm. So that's the next step is getting people to reuse the app to use it constantly. So I don't know if you want to say something because. By the way, what time is this going to finish? Because I don't know if we're 11:30. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of time.
I speak after you, so.
Are you marketing apps or because I sorry arrived late? Are you in this app marketing field?
I'm in the analytics field.
Analytics field.
Yeah.
App analytics.
Yeah.
So you analyze how people are using apps.
Yeah. We are developing tools for that. Yeah. We were explaining that before, that there are some nice analytics things going on over there. And in Israel, there is a very interesting company called SimilarWeb, which is doing. You said SimilarWeb, yeah.
I'm not the representative.
They used to come to Kinnernet near Offer. Near Offer is the name of the guy who founded it? Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think that Yossi is an investor in that company. By the way. Well, Yossi is an investor in almost all Israeli companies, isn't it?
There are many Israeli companies.
Okay. I was also saying to you at the beginning that the number of apps that can be in your smartphone is limited, but people don't install much more than an average of 23. Okay. You have many more than 23, but the average is around that. But the number of apps submitted to the markets is growing, and it's growing more than algorithmically. It's progressively. So every year there are more and more and more. The curve is like this. Okay, so that's creating a bigger and bigger need of finding ways for your app to be seen by the rest of the world. Okay. Which market has more apps, by the way?
Android.
Android.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Yeah?
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's about the same, but it's a bit more Google Play, yeah. Android. But only a bit more, just, and it changed last year. Before last year, it was always iOS.
As far as security goes, Android is a terrible place.
Yeah. But anyway, the Apple market is used more for launching apps. So when you are creating and developing an app, usually the first place where you launch is on iPhone. Do you know why?
No.
That's very easy.
Was it
You can guess it. It's easy.
Because you pay for it.
Yeah, because people pay more. Yeah.
Pay more.
So it's more
I don't
more
know about
interesting.
Android,
Yeah.
But I heard that is it possible that the Android app stores have localized versions? So like there's a Chinese app store because iTunes is iTunes.
The
Yeah.
procedure in iOS is always longer than in Android.
Yeah.
It's at least 10 days every time for each version you got.
I once got an app approved the first day. I don't know what. Once I got, I don't know what happened, but they approved it the same day we uploaded it.
Was it Hello World?
Well, it was a game, so we never knew what happened. So people use the app market, which is the name of the Apple market. It's app market. Normally for the launching. The Amazon App Store is growing quite well, so that's also a good one. And what you were saying about localization, it has to do with Chinese. So in China there are many markets, but that's the exception. So it's not happening in the rest of the world. It's more Chinese phenomenon. Because I think that Android was forbidden as a market in China. I don't remember it very well, but it has something to do with that.
What about apps that are related to other products? So like apps that you need to be able to use something or to interact with something that you buy. How does that play in the overall?
I have no data on that, but That's interesting because for then they don't need any advertising because they have the product. If you want to use the product, you need the app. Yeah, that's true.
Even like Gummy or something like that.
Like a lock for your door, for example.
Or yes, or a drone driver, whatever.
Yeah, a security app for the
Or security
video
app
cam in
or-
your house or
Yeah.
the thing. You know, there are a lot of apps now that.
Yeah. Or even the Alvidia or Welling app to get your
Your
ticket,
boarding
your
pass.
boarding
Yeah.
pass.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these are like things that you have like an incentive to get the app because it makes your life easier.
And they give you some options. I think there are things that you can only get if you, I think, I'm not sure if it's Vueling or some other airline because I had it a while ago. You can only get the pre-boarding check-in, whatever, blah blah,
Yeah,
if you use the
if
app.
you use the app.
Not
yeah.
on the
That's
website, not on-
willing. That's
Yes,
willing. Yeah.
true.
But the other way is
Those
like
are
this.
strategies to adopt.
It's an incentive.
Yeah, like the brand apps, that's the other way to look at it, like, you know, like.
I think that EasyJet is also doing that.
EasyJet,
Yeah.
For the body pass. You can use it only for
But that's again a problem because if people are not having more than 23 apps, and part of those apps are this type of apps, that's restricting the place that you have for the rest of the apps. So that's even a problem for that.
You want to monetize because usually Apple or Google they take 30% when you create when you unlock digital content on the app. Right? So if you say if you have a game and you want to go to another level, you pay €1 and 70% is for the developer and 30% is for
That's right.
for Apple or Google, right?
Yeah.
But if it's something which is mixed, so for example you sell something online and offline, do you know this? If then you also have to pay 30%.
If you are using the paying system of the app of your smartphone, you have to give 30% of what you are getting, or they take 30% of it.
If you're using Apple as a payment provider.
That's right. But you can use other payment systems like PayPal.
So if I do it with PayPal, for example,
You don't have
or Stripe, there are also other
Yeah.
things, and then I unlock content on my phone, then it's without any.
That's right. Yeah.
But now you can only do in-app through Apple Store.
But I've heard, but I've heard that New York Times had a problem with this because they wanted to give an app that people can read the newspaper there, and Apple said no, we want 30% from the subscriptions which were generated on the app or on the iPhone or on the iPad or whatever.
So they are asking them for that. Huh? I don't know about that.
There was a big discussion, and I was not sure if it. And they didn't want to use, as far as I know, they didn't want
the
to
App
use.
Store.
No, they didn't want to use the payment provider of Apple. They want to have their own.
Their own,
provider.
yeah.
But Apple said no, we don't.
We don't allow your app if it's not with our payment system.
Because it's digital content.
I don't know about the case, but it
Sounds like
it's probably like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
because we can create apps without. No, we can create apps going to the Safari website and then install it as an app without going to the
Well,
App
that's a
Store.
web app.
You understand me?
Yeah.
Web app, right?
So apps.
Which
apps
is
are
not an app.
everything.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
an app.
HTML5. Yeah.
You can install it as an app.
Yeah. That would be a way, to avoid that. But if you want an app, and you have to be approved by Apple, and they want to get money out of that, that's probably going to happen. Yeah.
I know, I've heard many things, and also about the approval process. I have heard of many people who said it takes sometimes a long time because they reject it. They just say to you, this is the reason, but they don't explain to you, and then you don't have to imagine what is the problem, and then you have to try again, and people are sometimes 2 weeks trying to upload. And
Yeah, it's about 10 to 14 days average time, waiting time, yeah.
it's a long.
But it's the way it works. If you like it or you don't like it, you use it or not. It's the way it works. It's a company deciding. So, and they are smart because the Apple is doing very well. So I don't think they are. I think they are doing what it's better for their shareholders. That's the way you say it, no? So But I don't know about that case, but it makes sense what you're saying, yeah, it makes sense. Knowing how they work, I can imagine they're doing that, yeah. So, as of the evolution of what has been happening, when people started doing apps, developing apps, the only thing that was interesting was the number of clicks or installs. And right now, the analytics field has become a bit sophisticated. So there are many more things being taken into account, like what we were saying before, the daily average usage and the weekly average usage and the session length and all that. And some profitability also, analytics are also becoming more and more important. As of the cost per installation is, of course, it's higher on an iPhone than on Android, because iPhone users are supposed to spend more money, so they are more interesting, so people want more of them, okay? There's also the different price, different cost.
How much is it?
For example, on Android, 1 month ago, it was around $0.25 per launch, and 0.33 on iPhone. That's what I have stats here. I'm not sure.
Dollars or euros or?
I'm talking about dollars.
So 25 cents on Android.
Yeah, that's it.
Might depend also on the kind of app, right?
Of course, yeah.
Facebook is almost zero for Facebook because everybody knows Facebook. No?
Yeah, Facebook doesn't need to advertise anymore, yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
Other apps.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Facebook now, in order to generate more users, they generate more internet. That's the project. Internet.org. So they're bringing internet to places that don't have internet, and in return, they can generate new users. They're almost saturated with the platform.
And there are also some stats on when it's easier to get installed. So looks like weekends are good for some type of apps, and weekdays are easier for some other type of apps. Sorry. But one of the data that really shocked me is the percentage of people that download apps that they found on markets. It's very, very big. So almost everybody goes through a market to download apps. Like clicking on a link is not so common. Okay, so that's quite interesting. That explains how important it is to be the first or the second or third one on the market position. But it's interesting that it's not as in Google, where the first one takes most of the credit, the second one takes a bit less, third one. Because of the way the apps are placed on the markets, the second one takes almost as much as the first one, and the fourth one also takes a lot of downloads. Okay, so it's not so important to be the first one. You can also be the second, third, fourth, even sixth,
Like
and it works.
You have to be on the first page.
Yeah, the first page, yes. That's it. But when you are the ninth on Google, it's almost nothing you are getting, yeah. And also another acquisition methodology that I forgot to tell you before is when you have a very important website and people are using it on mobile, some companies are placing huge pop-ups that tell you to install the app. And that's becoming more and more common, for example, for travel apps, for LinkedIn. LinkedIn uses it a lot. So if you try to use LinkedIn on a mobile and you are using the browser, Safari, it tells you, it almost requires you to install the app. It tells you in such a way that if you don't install the app, it's like you are not gonna see anything. Yeah.
Sometimes even you make a mistake and you install it without.
That's right.
any
Yeah.
intention.
Yeah, LinkedIn is playing that very hard. Yeah. And also something that people say that is very important is to make the app download very fast. So like 6 seconds at the most. Which I don't have any data myself, but looks like it makes sense.
That depends on the internet connection. Nothing else. Well, on the site.
I know, but on a normal connection,
Yeah.
Yeah.
on a normal
It
connection,
takes too long and you get tired and you
Yeah.
go out.
Yeah.
So, as of acquisition methods, there is also Chartbuster. You know that website? It's like a network where if you want to belong to the network, you will get ads for free, but you also have to place ads on your app. So it's like a place where there used to be things like that when the banners were created. Remember, when the ad banners, there were networks where people that's right. So that's also it's working very well. This company is based in San Francisco, and they are getting a lot of publicity right now. Yeah, because it's an easy way to get installs without paying so much money. It's Chartbuster.
But you don't pay anything. You have to place banners on your
But they don't place as many banners for you as space that you are giving to them. That's their business. They also sell ads. That's the way it works. But it's good because you don't necessarily have to pay. Okay, if you provide them with space, which means you must have an app that has some traction already. You can get ads for free, which is good. Yeah. Looks like a church. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like a church. Yeah. Sunday morning. Yeah.
Chicago. That's right.
So.
So the one is yet to come.
Well, the schedule said that this was a rehearsal. Maybe it's for the extravaganza.
What is the real service?
Man is playing. Man is playing, people are singing.
Another frightening data: 80% of installed apps are never gonna get used again.
How many?
80%.
I think so.
That's huge.
Entirely depends on the app, right? Because if you buy a
And which ones are getting it the worst? So which apps are the less used after they are installed?
Trends, I guess.
Like what?
Trends,
What is Trends?
like the fart app.
That's
The fart app. It's nice, everyone talks about it, but like a month later,
okay.
that's old news.
Could be, yeah. The media apps, media news apps.
Really?
No, install.
People install them and they don't use it again.
Really?
I have the same 2-3 media apps forever. Yeah, I never, and I use them.
Well, maybe you are an exception.
No?
Yeah, like
Newspapers, magazines, TV networks, that type of BuzzFeed or. So like people don't like using a single app for news. They like reading news from all sources, I think. It's like I don't want to get stuck with this newspaper and only read their news. I want to read news from different sources. I guess that's my interpretation. I don't really know it. And one of the things that helps people using your app, I told you, it's introducing social connections and gamification. Okay, so very recommended, very advised to let the app, let users of the app add their connections on social networks. So like, okay, you get your Facebook connections or your Twitter connections. You know that Facebook is becoming very hard on this. Yeah. Their new API doesn't allow this so easily anymore. Okay, But that's one of the big recommendations right now. Of course, you can use those connections to invite people to also use the app if you give some type of incentive, like Airbnb is doing that very hard lately, by the way. Also use email. So if you use email, you can remind people on the app. Email has always been there since the internet was created, and email is still the best marketing tool.
Well,
Well, it's not as strong, but it's still very strong. Yeah.
a lot of apps do that, and they go to spam, to the spam
Box. That's
box,
true. Yeah.
yes.
So use email. So you need people's emails. Okay. So ask for it. You know that Twitter doesn't give you the email of people when people connect with email with Twitter, they won't give you their emails. So you need to ask it expressly, or either use Facebook Connect, which does give you their emails. Okay. And also very important, if you have an e-commerce app, like you are selling things in your app, you need people to use the app to buy, of course, because otherwise you're not going to monetize it. So it seems that when people download, install e-commerce apps, it's very important to get them buying the first days. So if they don't buy like in the first 83 days, if they make 3 or more purchases on their apps, it's like they're going to use it forever. So it's very important to educate them to buy for the first 83 days.
83?
Yeah. So the first 3 months. Yeah, that's right. So educate them and incentivize. And you say that incentivize or boost? Or do you use the word incentivize? Incentive them to use it for the first 3 months, and then you can forget about them because they're gonna buy it themselves. They're gonna use it like without guiding them anymore. Okay. Okay. So I think that's about what I had to say. The most successful apps are messaging. Those are the ones that people use it more easily when they install it. Once you get them to install it, they are gonna use it quite easily. And games. But news and education are not so successful. So lots of people install them and don't use them anymore. Okay.
It's not very trendy. Like, you use them and then
Yeah.
after,
Probably, yeah.
just like time, you just like install it. Just play
Yeah.
games or one.
So messaging, social, games, yeah. But education and media are not so good. And that's about it, yeah.
Do you know the hawker sunglasses case?
No.
Do you know the sunglasses, the Spanish sunglasses people, two boys from Elche, from Alicante, that they made 15 million euros revenues last year. And it's not because of the sunglasses, that is normal sunglasses, but it's because of the marketing strategy, digital marketing strategy. And it's a case that surprised me a lot. And
What was the trick?
the marketing strategy, the digital marketing strategy.
No, but if you sell sunglasses, they are sunglasses.
What was
You
it?
sell glasses for the sun.
Yeah,
So what was the strategy?
yeah, they sell sunglasses online.
But probably they are nice and they are.
Yeah, of course they are nice, but try it. Try to sell sunglasses and.
But what did they do different? What did they do different?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. I
Ah,
don't
okay,
know.
you don't
I don't
know.
know. The thing is that they get that because of the marketing things they did, but I don't really know what they did.
Please, could you repeat the name of the company?
Hawkers.
Hawkers.
HAWKEYS.
Were they,
Not hookers, no?
were they sold or company was sold, or they
No,
just
they continue selling sunglasses.
Selling products 50 million.
I think that I think I read something about them using social media a lot. Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah. Social media for fashion is a big thing. Yeah, like every fashion brand is using social media a lot because it's because there they get people using their products and the rest of the people see their products, and it's become a big place for fashion brands. Yeah, as far as I know. But something also interesting is that what happens with e-commerce, I was saying to you before, that with the glasses, that people use a lot of e-commerce on the mobile, but they don't buy so much. I don't know if you are aware of this, like more than 50.
Shop online, buy
Yeah, that's right. So it's like lots of traffic is made out of mobile, like people are browsing on e-commerce sites and seeing what products there are and all that, but they are waiting to buy until they are on their computer, in front of the computer.
I
Yeah.
have a good guess about the reason. It's the ease of use.
Probably yes. Yeah.
you want to
If
see
you
the
could-
product.
No, the ease of use. I buy a lot on Amazon, but I don't do it here because it's not comfortable. It doesn't look nice, and then you go through 5 pages of enter your order.
And you can make a mistake.
Typing that's annoying. If
And you
I
can
have
make a mistake and
one
buy a
click-
different thing.
One click button,
Uh-huh.
then I will buy here. Because I'm standing in a store
Yeah.
and I'm seeing something, and then I go on Amazon and I say I can get it in Amazon for half the price. If I could buy it right there, I would buy it right there, but no, I go home.
Yeah,
Because
they're
it's
really
not
trying to
comfortable.
work in it exactly because of location. And there's always location and mobile and market that they're trying to encourage, but they know there must be cooperation between the website and the mobile app.
Well, with Apple Pay, that's a good That's why I just have to start setting up my computer for that and stuff.
Okay, so if you don't have anything else to talk about, we can close. Okay.
Which are the apps you must have in your iPhone?
Oof, that depends. That depends on you. Of course, for me, it's Google Maps. Google Maps. For me, that's and I have one app I use every day, which is called. I forgot the name. It's called. Where's my mobile, by the way? Oh, it's here.
What's your name?
Jose. Yes.
What are you doing?
Sorry.
What are you doing with? What are you doing? Your business?
Analytics.
Analytics.
Yeah.
You're not a user acquisition.
No. I was going to tell you the name of the app is Instapaper. Sir? The app I was going to tell you is Instapaper. That's the one I use every day, Instapaper.
What is
What is
Yeah, it's an app where you see things that you like to read, you save them, and then on Instapaper you can read them anytime. And without,
like notes?
yeah, but those are things that you see online, like a news, like whatever. You have Instapaper. You have a button. You push the button. You save.
Dame un ejemplo.
Estás leyendo el periódico y ves una noticia que te interesa, pero no tienes tiempo para leerla. Le das al botón, te la guarda y después, cuando estás tranquilamente ya en cualquier otro sitio,
Te conserva el link.
abres Instapaper, no, te conserva la noticia entera, todo el texto. Entonces está muy bien, por ejemplo, cuando vas a ir en un avión.
Claro.
Entonces guardas
Te guardas
20 lecturas y en el avión las abres y las lees tranquilamente.
los paso a papers.
Sí, se llamará por eso Instapaper, sí, imagino.
Porque debe ser el PDF de la noticia y te lo guarda.
No es un PDF, es como, no sé, es como el texto solo. Instapaper. Identifica el texto y lo guarda entero. Y funciona perfectamente, o sea, me guarda todo.
A veces no, incluso en un tren, en un nave,
Que no tienes conexión, por ejemplo, o que vas al extranjero y no quieres estar pagando una millonada, pues Instapaper te viene bien para eso.
¿Y de notas guardas alguna de esas que sirven para...?
Notas, eso es Evernote. más bien.
Evernote, sí.
Yo ahí no te diría que Evernote, así, sí.
Evernote, la ventaja es que lo puedes guardar aquí en tu ordenador, estás interconectado.
Esto me va mejor en el iPad que en el...
Me tengo que ir, que tengo otra sesión ahora. Hoy me he puesto 2 seguidas, así que...
Gracias, maestro.
¿Alguien quiere una...? Tengo aquí un par de ellas, si queréis, 2 alfombrillas.
Pues sí,
Toma.
me lo quedo. Gracias. Mira, mi nombre es soy Moisés Cohen. Segui Media. Si los conoces, el Media Monitoring Company. Estamos en varios lugares en España. Formamos parte del grupo israelí de Cholifat. Si te suena el grupo Isfat Internacional.
¿Más abajo o te ves aquí?
Voy a ir abajo.